Welcome to Brake Check. I'm Craig, and I've got the all-new 2022 Toyota Land Cruiser. I'm sorry.
No, Tundra.
Oh, Tundra. Right here behind us. This is a pre-production model. We're just gonna walk through this and talk about it. And I'm not allowed to give any riding impressions yet, but that's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's dig into this sucker, because this here we've got the 1794 edition, which is really neat because there were some rumors that it might not come in the new Tundra, the 1794 edition, but they brought it back, which is awesome because we're at the truck rodeo here in Texas, and we need the 1794 edition, don't we? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go through here. This is not the full off-road model. This is not the TRD Pro. However, there's a pretty stiff off-road course here at the truck rodeo, and they're letting us drive this one on that, so that should tell you about its capability.
Stay tuned for that. We'll have a 4V on that.
Biggest thing, let's just start with the power plant. This is the hybrid unit. Twin turbo V6 with the pancake drive motor in between the transmission. And it makes 437 horsepower and 538 pound-feet of torque. 583. Dyslexic, 583 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot of torque. So any concerns about the V8, I think they're gone because there's plenty of power in this bad boy. Let's kind of walk around the front here. They did not hold back on the grille. And as you can tell, it's massive, it's big. There's a little bit of criticism we've heard from our viewers on maybe how it comes out here and how come there's not tow hooks. Yes, we hear you. One of the things we do like though is we like the integrated fog lamps. We think that's a pretty neat little treatment there.
And on the TRD Pro, you can get an integrated light bar.
Oh, that's right, right.
Really good.
And then you notice here, Brian, the blue around the logo. Of course, you know if it's a Toyota and it's got blue on it, that means it's a hybrid, and that's what this bad boy is. We don't have MPG numbers yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good and as good or better than the competitors. And here's some of the reasons why. One of the reasons it doesn't have tow hooks is for aerodynamics. You can get them aftermarket installed. That definitely they'll have a fix for that. And then we'll get to the back, some other aerodynamic treatments that come into play as well. But let's continue around this side. I want to talk about the suspension.
I want to point out something real quick before you get to suspension. Look at this fender liner. I see felt lining. And that tells me right away that road noise is going to
be quiet.
Quiet, exactly.
This is one of they have two premium trims. They have the limited model and they have the 1794 edition. They're going to be really quiet. I would say maybe Lexus quiet. So the neat thing about the suspension on this particular unit, and everybody gets excited about the TRD Pro or the TRD editions. The TRD has the Bilsteins. The TRD Pro has the Fox. This has active suspension. And so we've talked a lot about that on our podcast and things. That means you're going to get a really great ride. So interesting to see some light duty trucks come out with that. Ford's doing the same thing as well recently. So neat to see that starting to come down on the trucks with these. It's pretty cool. Moving around the side, of course, you get the nice hiding step, which is very handy. And we got a really nice brown here. We haven't figured that color out yet, but I'm sure it's a really cool Texas of naming mesquite or something brown. Who knows? But looks really good. Of course, you know.
Metallic in there. Looks good.
And we're journalists, so we like browns. That's
what we have.
I mean, yes, they knew what they're doing. Really, okay. Here's the big trick though. Two things going on here. You might be able to see that frame. That is not an open C channel, Brian.
That is not.
That is a fully boxed frame, which is interesting. And why is that interesting? I think we all know why it's interesting. Remember the open C channels, and everybody asked Toyota, why don't you have a fully boxed frame? And the story you always got was, well, it's not as stiff, so it flexes, it's good for ride. So then immediately the question for these are, well, is this going to be too stiff? Because they talk about it's a stiffer frame. They've got it covered though, because I don't know if you also noticed back there is a coil suspension.
Yes.
And that is going to help with the ride.
It's going to be a game changer.
The coil suspension with the active dampers, this sucker's going to ride great. So,
I think the active dampers are also enabling that ride quality.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on to the bed. I want you to peek inside here real quick, Brian. Look at this. That's plastic composite bed, so it's going to be a little bit lighter.
Wait, so if you drop your toolbox and your hammers, is it going to dent?
Yeah, I don't know what Chevy's going to do with the commercials when you drop the toolbox in there. It's not going to dent, so it'll be interesting. So we'll see what they do. But you don't have to get it lined. It's already set. You got really good tie down points all the way across. You got these little accessory rail right here.
Slots for board installs.
Yeah, it's a really well designed. It's very successful and popular in the Tacoma, and now they've just basically brought it to the Tacoma. I've heard a little grumblings about this, but I think it's awesome. This is a good move.
Yeah.
So.
What about can you explain this real quick to the viewers? Usually we see something else happen here.
Yeah, this is the next aerodynamic treatment. I'm glad you pointed that out. Most trucks, the bumper wraps around.
On previous Tundras, they wrap around.
Yes, and on previous Tundras, they wrap around. We've heard two things on this. One, it's going to be easier to replace. Anybody have a truck and you backed into something and messed up your bumper?
I happen to know someone that's done that with a Tundra.
It's supposed
Actually, trivia moment. The first gen Tundra had a one-piece chrome bumper that wrapped all the way
Yep,
around.
yep.
And then the refresh model had a two-piece design.
Yep.
So if you damaged this corner,
Mhm.
you never replace the whole bumper, you replace
Yep.
this corner. And now you've got an update to that as well.
Yep.
Chrome in the middle, plastic on the corners.
Should be a little easier to replacement costs because it's a truck. You're going to do that kind of stuff. That happens. Also, drag coefficient has improved just a little bit, so we're really excited to see the MPG numbers when they come out. They've done a lot of things that are going to come to play to help that.
I feel like on the highway this might be a surprise.
Okay, Brian, you got to get some stuff in the back of your truck because you're out recreating, right? Because this is a recreational vehicle.
Sure.
And you need to get in the bed. There's not a side step. There's not. It's kind of tall. And I've got maybe some beverages, adult beverages in my hand, right?
Yeah.
And my hands are full, so no problem. Look at that. Oh, no problem. I mean, look at that. I mean,
Where's this button at? Hang
that's pretty slick. If you look right here, integrated into the taillight, it's almost hard to see on all the videos and the pictures. It's right here in the taillight incorporated. A little rubberized button right there. You can just elbow bump that, and you're good to go.
And you have power deployed rear step.
Pretty slick. It's
That's
right where you want it.
pretty awesome.
You put the tailgate back up, it comes right back up.
What you do notice is you don't have a cheesy step that comes out.
Absolutely. So yeah, so Toyota did not design a trick, quote unquote, tailgate. Although I'd say the little step's a trick, and the button's a pretty good trick. Two things. 'Cause I'm glad you mentioned that because we've talked about other tailgates that do a bunch of different things. There's a lot of concern about reliability and rust and different points and hinges that are just not going to be durable. They've really hammered home three things with the Toyota: quality, reliability, and durability. This is a simple tailgate. It's not going to break. I mean,
Right.
and composite bed, there's nothing to rust.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just going to last forever. Just like.
It's Michigan ready.
All right, moving on to the interior. Now, I want to point out and remind the viewers, this is a pre-production unit. You may not catch it on camera, but there are some trims and finishes that aren't finished out with the final product. Just means the final.
Don't judge it too hard.
It just means the final product will be even better. You probably won't even catch it on camera. That's okay. But
for the record, we haven't found a problem yet.
yeah. So, but sitting back here, a little bit of headroom issues we've noticed. I'm only 5'9" and I'm hitting my head on this. My brother's 6'4". He's ridiculous. He doesn't fit in anything, but that's okay. But what's cool back here is you get the panoramic roof, which Tundras have never had.
That's it for Toyota, yeah.
And you get the fully rolled down window, which they've kept, which is really neat.
Favorite part of the Tundra in the past. I'm glad that's still here.
Speaking of aerodynamic treatments, one of the problems with rolling down that window, if you don't have the little spoiler on the tailgate, which you notice all the Tundras have, is you get, if you have like hay or some grass or some debris in the bed, it's going to blow right back into the back window. They've aeroed even that, so when you roll down the back window with the tailgate up, you're not going to get that backflow
that's awesome.
into the cab. That's pretty cool.
So,
But sitting back here, this is the hybrid. You lose the storage underneath the seat because basically that's where your batteries sitting. So a little bit of that's a trade-off there.
trade-off, yeah.
It's a trade-off for that 583 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah.
But very good interior. Here's the cool thing about the back, Brian. You know, our favorite feature right here. We're in Texas.
Crotch chillers, baby.
Crotch chillers in the back. So you got 4-seat crotch chillers.
Also 4-watt outlet.
Pretty cool. Yep.
USB-C.
Yeah, pretty standard there.
Yep.
All right, let's move up to the front.
Also, Craig.
Oh, peasant blockers.
Hater blockers.
Yes. All right, onto the driver's seat, the Command Central. Large and in charge is what I would say about this seat right here. You've got a massive hood. One of the things they've done in the Tundra, they've moved the windshield back compared to the previous generation because they wanted more presence out there, longer hood. And you see it sitting in this command center right here. Going back to they've gone to no column shifter. We just have this traditional console only. This is not the fully off-road mode, but you do get 4 high, 4 low.
So
They've changed the way they've done that little toggle here. I like that. I think that looks good. You got of course, all your cup holders,
wireless charging pads,
all your, roll down the windows, the ball chillers, different design and layout. They've really got everything. Everything's horizontal. So even the vents are horizontal, the screen's horizontal. They haven't gone,
tall.
yeah, they haven't gone tall enough.
Vertical.
Yes, they want this thing,
This one
everything's wide in
landscape.
this. They want it to have that presence. And then here, Brian, I don't know if you know what that is. That's for your big gulp.
Yeah, so I figured that these may not be big enough.
Yeah, no, you want a bigger cup.
It's a big gulp.
Yeah, that's for your Bubba gulp.
Bubba
Yeah.
gulp.
So with that, thanks for watching. We'll have the full review soon. But until then, stay tuned and breakcheckshow.com for everything else.